Yo, 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 and ho, ho, ho. The holidays are busier than ever, and you need comfort and style for all occasions. And Mack Weldon is here for you with their daily wear system. For 20% off your first order, visit MackWeldon.com/Bob and enter promo code Bob. That's MackWeldon.com/Bob, promo code Bob for 20% off. Mack Weldon, get it right this holiday season. Didn't mean to boss you around.
And here's another word from one of our sponsors.
What do you want to eat tonight? You hear that a lot, right? Maybe you want a home-cooked favorite, but you don't feel like going to the store. Or you want something exciting and new, but it would be great to stay in tonight, right? DoorDash connects you with everything that you want, whenever and however you want it. For a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the code SAGET. That's 25% off up to $10 in value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app at the App Store and enter the code SAGET. Don't forget that's code SAGET, S-A-G-E-T, for 25% off of your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change, terms apply.
Hey everybody, it's Bob here, and you know what? Bob Saget's here for you because that's the name of the thing. I'm just saying it out loud so there's branding, verbal branding. I have a special guest today. I say that all the time, but usually I'll have a guest on and I'll say, if you're, under 15 or don't have a fake ID, don't listen because I'll have a friend on and it'll be, Bill Burr, and we'll use language, and I don't want kids to hear it yet. Well, I have someone here who is 15 as my guest, and you all know her because she's in so many projects, and she's been working since she's 7 years old as an actress, and she is simply and utterly beatific. It is Mckenna Grace, and I met her on the set of Fuller House, Max and Rose, if you know that show. And she is just a love and such a good actress. So she started when she was 7 in Young and the Restless. She was a young Tonya Harding in I, Tonya. She was on Designated Survivor as Kiefer Sutherland's daughter. And I watched these shows, and some of them before I met her, and then I got to work with her a little bit. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing her in all these projects. And she is the star, I would say, of Ghostbusters Afterlife, or the co-star, or the star. She carries the darn thing. This is Ghostbusters Afterlife that she's out promoting right now, and I was able to catch her in the middle of it because she wanted to talk to me because she's a sweetheart. And I don't know, she was a fan of Full House as a kid, and she's 15. And she's got the acting skills and the love of the art and the craft that many people, that you either have it or you don't, and she was born with it, and she has a lovely family, and it shows in how big her heart is. So if you would, do what you have to do. Normally, I got to make my little podcast business: rate, review, subscribe. You know what you do. You follow. You can go to the YouTube page, and you can see us talk to each other in a 2-shot Zoom. How unusual! And it's that's where you go, is youtube.com/Bob Saget. And I'm on tour if you want to see my stand-up, which is the opposite of what you're about to listen to. And that's at bobsaget.com. You can see where I'm on tour and doing stand-up and gearing toward a new special. But I feel bad that I talked about myself, but we do plug what we plug, and that includes sometimes whatever we're hawking. But I'm going to do less talking and less hawking, and I'm going to bring in someone right now into this lovely Zoom room, and I'm late for it. So she's so great. I just adore her, and I know all of you do too. Here is Mckenna Grace.
Oh, goodness.
I'm so happy to see you. I'm sorry I was late. This is the first time I've ever had a Zoom technical issue.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
My whole life. Oh, my God.
I feel honored.
I'm honored that you're doing this because you are so busy, and I'm so happy for you. It's just so great.
Goodness. Thank you for having me.
What? I got you, and I have this.
Hello.
We both hold something up at the same time.
Look at it. It's perfect.
It's almost, when you hold it close enough, it's actually what it's supposed to be. The beautiful marshmallow man. What is that beautiful dog's name?
Gizmo, Fruit Snack, Benjamin, Cheese Whiz, Freaky Bad Boy, Chicken Nugget, DiCaprio, but we call him Gizmo.
I can't believe you're that off book on your dog's name.
Oh, of course.
Cheesemo.
Yeah, I call him Cheese Whiz sometimes.
Right, which is not really food, you know. Do you ever eat Cheese Whiz? It's not really food.
No, but I mean, most things that we eat shouldn't be food, so it's fine.
That's true. Now, I know you. I mean, I would say we're happy acquaintances, and got to be together on or friends, depending on how we look at life or what it will be. You tell me. But Fuller House, you know, was kind of how I got to hang out a bit with you and see what kind of a person you are, besides being an obvious pro and incredibly talented. But what was that like? What you chose that role of all things amidst such an interesting career of dramatic roles and everything, and here you were. Was it being a fan back in the day of the show?
Oh, yes, I love your show, Full House. It's funny because the first season of Fuller House, my mom and I, the summer before, or that summer even, we had binge watched. We saved it all in our DVR and we had binge watched Full House. And then I remember we were sitting in her bed and we watched the countdown on Netflix for Fuller House to come out. And then I ended up on the next season and I was freaking out every day whenever I got to come and like hang out with you and everybody else. It was the coolest thing. And it was so cool to me that you came to my screening and that I'm on Zoom with you. Like, I'm still a big fan. It's so cool.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm a little older than you. I'm 65, which is unbelievable because I look so at least 2 years younger. But I was so excited to work with you because I'd seen you in so much stuff. I even saw you on Young and the Restless.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was one of my first things. That was so fun.
You were like 7, right?
I was itty bitty.
Now, how did you, I mean, you're doing a million interviews right now, right? Because this is it. This is Ghostbusters Afterlife. This is your big press tour. So you've been going nonstop, right?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but I'm very happy and thankful for it. Like, it's so cool to me.
Well, first,
It's
thanks
another thing it's another thing that I was a massive fan of is Ghostbusters and Full House. So it's weird how everything ends up working out.
That's amazing to me. So now you obviously watched it because of, I guess, your parents, right?
Yeah, but though I have a firm belief that I'm probably a bigger Ghostbusters fan than both of my parents. Even though they're the ones that showed it to me, I've always been a massive fan. So it was really cool to be able to see everything in person.
And you got to hang out with, I mean, with Bill and Dan and Ernie. I mean, that's a gift of a lifetime, right?
I mean, I was honored to even get to have a conversation with them, much less act with them. I don't know, it's so weird because I feel like they're just kind of like these legendary guys, and to have them all in the same room, especially, is really cool. It's kind of it's kind of the same way that I felt being with all you guys after I'd watched Full House so much. It's just I don't know, getting to meet these people that I've watched for so long in my life and that I've like looked up to and watched their acting and careers, and then getting to meet them and have conversations like I'm doing right now. It's so special. Oh, Gizmo, he's eating my stuffed animal. Gizmo, sorry, he's over there
do
eating.
you need me to call 911?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Let's send the ambulance from that. Now that's the funny thing about the Ghostbusters movie. It's we have to give the spoiler alert, which you don't want to, that the guys are in it, but you kind of have to, right?
Yeah, I mean, by this point, it is confirmed out there that they're returning. But you know, it's a different thing because I'm not gonna say how or when, except
Right.
that everybody's gonna be pleasantly surprised. You know.
Well, I have to tell you, the moment I saw it, and I saw it with a producer friend of mine, I was blown away. First thing, you've carried movies before, which is not the most normal thing for a lot of actors. I mean, you have chops of an actor that would be like normally 50 to 60 years old. Not saying that there's an age thing that's different than other people, but you are 15, right?
I am. Yes, sir.
And you're calling me sir because your parents might be the most polite, nicest. I'm just saying that Ross and Crystal, that's the other thing about getting to do a sitcom or getting to be on a set. You get to meet where a person comes from. And you come from a true home. You come from lovely people.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm in New York, so you can hear all the sirens and stuff going
Well,
on
maybe they're
downstairs.
coming because of what happened with the dog.
Oh
Maybe
my gosh,
that.
they're coming for Gizmo.
I shouldn't have called 911. I'm so sorry. Here, this will save the day. This,
Oh yes, yes. Oh,
I
he
just
just
like.
did.
There's
He's
nothing.
gone.
Okay, so here you are. You're carrying this movie, and I just wanted to tell you, you're awesome in it.
Oh,
Period.
thank you. That means so much, especially coming from you, because I think that you're one of the most like coolest people. But thank you
Will you
so
say
much.
that again? Would you say that about 4 times, really loud?
I think that you are the most coolest person.
Uh, I was astonished. Not astonished. I expected it because I've seen your work. My God, and you're born to do this. You're born to be creative. Here you are in this movie, and just the scenes where you're. I don't want to give it away, but when you're in the vehicle and you got that chair rig, that stuff
Mhm.
alone. I mean, you're a hero. It's a beautiful arc in your character. What happens?
It's so crazy. It's the weirdest thing to be able to, cause shooting was so long ago, so it's weird to finally see it all come together. Cause everything's so oddly spaced out whenever you're shooting, and to see it all in order and see the way that each of the characters grows, it was kind of a surprise for me as well to be able to watch myself and see how much my character does and how much she grows throughout the film, and it was really special. It was like reading the script all over again.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
love it.
and I assume Jason was remarkable to work with.
Oh yes, he's definitely one of my favorite directors I've ever worked with. He's a very stern director, but in a great, lovely way, because he knows exactly what he wants. And I mean, I also think that it was kind of a special circumstance to work with him, and since considering how much of a connection he does have with Ghostbusters, I mean, his father created it with Harold and Dan and Bill, and so it's crazy to be able to see them working together to create a new Ghostbusters film. It's really weird.
Was Ivan around a bunch?
Oh yeah, he was around a lot, which is really special, and I
That's
still get
so
really
great.
excited whenever I see him. I still get so excited. I'm like, oh, it's Mr. Ivan, and he's like, you can call me Ivan, right? And I'm like, no, I can't. You're Mr. Ivan. Uh,
Yeah, you
it's
do the
so
Miss. You do Miss Elizabeth Moss. You're very formal in the way you
yeah,
speak.
I have to be. Texas manners.
Right. And I don't know where Grapevine, Texas is. Where is that?
Somewhere in like Dallas, small place. Texas is such a big place, so there's a
Right.
bunch of little eh.
But are you the shining star of Grapevine? I would imagine.
Oh goodness, I don't know if I would go that far. I feel like there's a lot of wonderful actors that I have met that have come from Texas, which is funny. I've met so many people out in LA. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'm from Texas. And they're like, hey, I'm from Texas too. There's so many Texans.
So now here you are. You're doing a giant press tour, which is going to last a while because it's a big movie, and then you're going to roll into other press tours because you've got so many things you're doing. I just read that that you wrote with your dad the sequel to Bad Seed, which was so wonderful with Rob Lowe in at the helm in 2018. And how do you go about? Was this the first thing you've written with your dad?
Um, I think so. I think it is, which is
You ever
really
write a
cool.
letter with him, or
Um, no, actually, it's funny. It is. It's the first thing that we've written together. And then it kind of came together so quickly. We were just kind of sitting there over quarantine, and we were like, hey, we should write something. We should write a script, because my dad's a really creative guy, and he used to like write short stories in college and high school, and he really loves like Stephen King. So
right?
he's that type of writer, like scary, dark thing. And we were like, I bet, what could we write and like get it made, but like soonish, because films take so long to get made. And my
Hmm?
dad was like, I bet we could write a sequel to The Bad Seed. I was like, I never thought about that. Why not? And we did. And there was a big rewrite from the original because we had written was so dark. And so Lifetime was like, we really love it, but it's a little bit dark. So I'm very excited to see it though and start on production. I think that's actually next week that I go to Vancouver for
That's
that.
yeah. I did a deep dive on you, and I know you, but I still did it, and it just makes me feel good because you're such a positive person, and you have so
Thank
many
you.
levels. But you have so many levels. I mean, you love dark stuff. You are. Explain that to me. How old were you when you started watching stuff? What was like your earliest memory of a movie that some parents would say, "I'm not letting my kid watch this," and here you are starring in something or acting in something that's pretty
No,
intense.
yeah, it's really funny. Um, because my mom, she's always my dad and I are both huge movie buffs. So my dad, like he's always showing me really good films and dark films too, and scary movies is my favorite. But my mom's always coming in. She's like, Ross, you can't let her watch that. What is this? This is no. What are you doing? And it's really funny because we're always getting in trouble because we love to watch like super dark movies. But I mean, I really think that I can pinpoint it. Whenever I was like 6, I watched Alien. I watched an Alien marathon actually on on cable back whenever streaming was not as big,
Right?
and
All of
we
them?
watched.
You watched all of them?
I think we watched 2 or 3 of them, and I remember having a dream that night that there was like a xenomorph in my closet. I distinctly remember all of that, but it's still like my favorite thing now. And then after that, I don't know. I guess I really liked horror films.
It's so interesting that the monsters in the alien movies have kind of become the palette for all aliens, for all monsters. 4 sets of jaws that come out, one after
Mhm.
another, and then of course something
Yeah.
grows in your chest. Now, if something's growing inside your chest and then explodes out, I mean, isn't that upsetting? I mean, your mom isn't wrong. That's macabre, uh,
It was
right?
fun. It was family
It's
bonding.
family fun.
Yeah, thank goodness we did because now we wrote a scary movie script together.
Right. Well, it also, I don't understand. I mean, I do understand. I had a lot of hardship as a kid. We faced a lot of scary things. We lost people that we loved were gone and stuff. Where do you stand on? I know a few things about you that I knew anyway. That you're a vegetarian, so we know that. Are you still there? Are you still a vegan?
Um, I was vegetarian for about 7 years, but most recently, I was never really a healthy vegetarian. So it was very bad for my health, the things that I ate, because I was more just a vegetarian, not like a salad person. I'm a very picky person. Trying new foods scares me, so it was a lot of French fries and mac and cheese for me. But most recently, I'm not a vegetarian anymore, but I don't really eat meat. I don't eat red meats. I think the only thing that I eat is like chicken, maybe even once a week. I don't
Oh,
even
so
know.
you
You
do
know,
eat you
it's
do eat
like very
chicken.
very few and far between. I mean, I got my blood work done and I had high cholesterol at like 13, so it just like wasn't good for me. So most recently I have been just like every once in a while, but whenever I get like to a place where I'm like eating healthy and I found new foods that I like that are vegetarian, then I might go back.
What
It's
about
nice.
fish? Do you do any of the pescatarian thing?
Yeah, I mean, I was a vegetarian for, I mean, like overall, I was kind of vegetarian for about 7 years, but I would say about 3 of those years, I would kind of sporadically eat fish every once in a while, but I do quite enjoy sushi.
Yeah, sushi's the best. So yeah, okay, so good. That's old. We got to fix the Wikipedia when it comes to
Yeah,
your
I gotta
your
fix
diet.
Wikipedia. Oh goodness.
Now, then you're watching very adult-like stuff, and a lot of haunted stuff. You love the scary stuff. So where do you stand? I know you're getting asked this by everybody, but I'm asking this because I'm just interested. Where do you stand on spirits, the afterlife, ghosts? Where do you, if you care to share?
Oh no, yeah, it's not even a crazy question. I do get asked it a lot if I believe in ghosts and spirits now that I'm in a Ghostbusters film, and I always say yes, very way. I'm going, yes, I do, and I don't know why I say it like that because I do. I wholeheartedly believe in the afterlife, but I feel like I always like I go through phases where I fully believe in ghosts. Like over the summer, I was totally, because my friend, I was convinced that he was like haunted in his apartment, and so was he. And so we fully believed in ghosts, and then that was over. And I'm like, I believe in ghosts. Yeah. So it's always like whenever something's immediately happening that's spooky, I'm like, yes, I believe in ghosts. I'm so scared. But then for the rest of it, it's like, yeah, I do.
So you're like anyone else who's it depends on how
Yeah.
much courage you summon and how late at night a chair moves by itself.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. It depends if that coat hanging on my like closet door looks like a person or not.
Right. Or it changes, puts a sweater on, something like that.
Yeah.
So now, okay. So my wife and I are doing what a lot of people do. We binge over, especially over the whole time of quarantine. And
Mhm.
then Handmaids was one of our favorites. I loved the original book. I loved the original film. And then when the series came on, did you watch the series from the beginning? It is a dark and intelligently brilliant show.
I hadn't seen it before. That was one of the things that my mom was like, "Oh, McKenna can't watch it." It's like that
Right,
and
right.
Thrones, I think, were the two things that my mom was like, "No." I still haven't seen Game of Thrones, but I have now seen Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, once I booked it, I was allowed to watch the show, and I also binged it. I feel like it's such a dark show though that if you're binging it, it's like two, maybe three episodes, then you got to go and like take a sip of tea, maybe watch some Cartoon Network or something, and then
Yeah.
dive back into it because it's just so heavy. But I think that it's a brilliant show. I was a big fan of it going on to the series after binging.
Did it, and yeah, I go to Ted Lasso in between or just to take a break,
Mhm.
but I do. It is a powerful show, and I read some stuff that you'd said about what an important message it is for young women.
Yeah, I think that it's such a brilliant show, and I feel like all the acting is so magnificent. I could rant on and on about how much I love Miss Elizabeth Moss. I think that she's brilliant. But yeah, I think that the show it's so uncomfortable and dark for people to watch and talk about because of the subject matter of the show, because it deals with a lot of rape and child marriage, and I think that it's important to be able to have conversations about those things though, which is why I feel so lucky to have been able to play my character, a child bride, at my age, because I feel like people are always looking for 18 to play younger in those roles, because it makes people so uncomfortable that a 14-year-old is playing a 14-year-old who got married against her will. But it's like, mm, I'm more uncomfortable about the fact that that's happening and we're too afraid to talk about it. So I feel really lucky to have been able to play that part so that I can talk about it, because I'm fortunate enough to where I live in a family where I'm safe and I can choose who I want to marry whenever it comes to that time. But for like a lot of young girls, that's not an option in either the place that they live or their family or their culture. There's a lot of child marriage. I mean, so many states actually allow it. I think it was New York that just passed a law that hopefully eliminated child marriage, but there's so many loopholes in the legal system about it. See, I could talk on and on about it for hours. I
No, I
find it so
understand, and I love you talking about it because it's important.
I think it's so weird that it's not so widely talked about, considering that it is like actually a decently sized problem that's going on. But I mean, that's why I love Handmaids. I think that it talks about a lot of things that should be talked about.
Yeah, very much so. I mean,
Mhm.
there's 16 is the legal age of marriage, and
Mhm.
I didn't know who I was till I was 43.
Yeah, no, it's actually crazy. I think in California, I'm only 15. I'm almost 15 and a half, but I could have gotten married like a year or two ago if like my legal guardian signed a document, which I think is kind of scary, but that's California, I guess.
But now you're gonna reprise the role, correct? That's what's coming up in the
Yeah.
next season, and we've got. I mean, she's really being victimized coming up.
Yeah, I think at the same time, she is definitely a victim, and she's gone through all of this trauma. But I think that it's really great to be able to see her connecting with Janine and June and get to see how inspired she is by them, because I think that Elizabeth Moss brilliantly captures how distressed June is, but how much of a beacon of light and hope she is for all the women that are stuck in Gilead. I think that she's just brilliant.
Hmm. And it's a true metaphor for what humanity has always been, and unfortunately, obviously, still is. And then you get the flip side. You get this
Yeah.
wonderful thing where you get to talk about this incredibly fun movie that's full of nostalgia, and so maybe can you? You're getting asked all the same questions, but maybe I can. Well, first I want to say that if Fuller House had continued, it probably would have been a Max and Rose spinoff, but it would have been maybe called Rose and Max, not to diminish Elias because we love him. But if there had been a spinoff and you were doing a full-time Netflix show, you would have had to work in the Ghostbusters. You might not have been able to do it, and Rose become, her own show from Fuller
Oh
House.
gosh, as if. No way, Jose. Goodness, that would have been quite fun, man. Maybe someday there will be a Fullest House.
I always say
Whenever
that.
Elias and I are adults.
My
Yeah.
joke, my joke is it's just me in an urn by the window.
Oh my God,
Well,
jeez.
I'm
You
pretty
can't
old.
say that. No way. Oh my God.
All right, I'll live forever, whatever you want.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
So what's what memories you come away with from this Ghostbusters movie that are the most intriguing? Because we know it's an act of passion, the whole movie. I saw Jason's little speech, which was wonderful, that he did on film right before the screening. And I know that it was really it's almost, I don't want to say religious experience, but it was very, very deep for him. What were the things
Yeah.
that were your most rewarding or unusual things that happened? A couple maybe that come to mind.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like working on a Ghostbusters film as a big Ghostbusters fan is kind of unusual and crazy and strange. But I mean, working with Jason and getting to see him work with his dad really was so special because they worked so brilliantly together. Because I mean, everybody's always asking, they're like, so Jason and Ivan, what's it like having a father and son directing? Weren't they fighting all the time? And no, they really worked well together because each of them had such an understanding of the film since they're so close to it. So it was really cool to get to work with both of them and see them like collaborate and work together. But I think that honestly my most crazy memory from shooting or from the film isn't from shooting. It's from the premiere that happened on Monday, and it is Wednesday right now, so that was 2 days ago. My great grandpa got to come out for my great grandpa, my grandma, and like some of my friends and family got to come out for the premiere. And my great grandpa, he's getting old, and he has this big old like walking stick that it doesn't even look like a walking stick. It looks like he just like picked it up from the ground. It's like it's plastic, and you know.
Where does he
And
live?
oh, he lives in back in Texas with the rest of my family. But he was standing on the side of the carpet as they had finally gotten everybody together to take a group photo. And, you know, Mr. Bill and Dan and Ernie were all there as well. So the whole cast had gathered in to take a photo. And my grandpa standing like behind the camera with a stick. I don't know how he was there, but he was. And Bill, he goes, "Who's the guy with the stick? He looks like he came out of a cave." And I go, "Sir, that's my great grandpa." And he goes, "Does he live in a cave?" "How dare you?" And he goes, "He looks like he could pull it off." My grandpa, he saw that we were talking about him and he can't hear very well anymore. And he goes, "Huh?" And starts walking forward. And I'm like, "Papa, no, go back. We're taking a photo. Go back. Shh, shh, no, back." And then he goes, "Huh?" And keeps walking forward. And I'm like, "Papa, get back. We're taking a photo. I'm not calling you over." And then Billy goes, "No, get him in the picture."
Right.
And walks over and pulls my grandpa into the picture. And now we have a cast photo of my grandpa talking to Bill Murray and like just chatting with him casually. And I'm like, how did my grandpa manage to make better friends with Bill Murray in like 5 minutes than I managed to in 2 years? Like, how did this happen?
It's the
So
stick. The stick was the
it's a
key.
stick, I guess. It was magical. It has like a little compass on top. It's interesting, but it's very
Wait,
Texas like
Did he
walking
know
stick.
the original films? He must have known who Bill Murray and Dan and Ernie were.
I mean, I assumed, but he just walked over there, and then Bill's like, "Hey, so where are you from?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm from, yada yada," just like so casual, like. And I was like, "Papa, how did you manage to make friends with Bill Murray?" And he goes, "I don't know. I'm just excited to be here." Like he just like every time I asked him about Bill, he was like, "Yeah, yeah, that was cool." And then we keep talking, and I was like, "Papa, that was so crazy, dude! Oh my gosh."
We have
I don't
one,
think
one,
he
one
fully
second. Go ahead. What was that? Sorry.
I don't think that he like fully got who he was talking to, and that's the funniest part to me is that he's just oblivious throughout. That he just totally walked into a group picture of all of us.
Is this before he saw the movie?
Yes, it was right before we went inside to watch.
And then afterward, did he realize? Yeah, I know they're coming for you. That's Siren. You're living the movie. We're gonna take a 1 second break. Watch this. This is a commercial. All right, the holiday season is here, and with it comes the yearly questions of what do I wear to non-ugly sweater parties, and how do I maximize my time savoring holiday moments and minimize my time shopping for gifts? Fear not, weary holiday wanderer. Mack Weldon has all the answers. Whether it's an office party, a party with family and friends, or just a holiday party of you, your couch, and a game on TV, that sounds fun. Mack Weldon has all the essentials to keep you stylish and comfortable throughout the season. And their innovative daily wear system has taken the hard work out of outfit planning with pieces designed to work together for any occasion, saving you time and sparing you any extra holiday stress. We're talking top-notch tops, right? I'm saying that right. We're talking top-notch tops, best-selling bottoms, and underwear and accessories that will please even the Scroogiest guys on your list. With Mack Weldon, your holiday heavy lifting will be complete within minutes. Mack Weldon is someone I needed to check out. I didn't know everything about it. I don't do sponsors on here unless I'm aware of their products. I checked out their website and I was like, I like this stuff. And then I looked at what they've got. Mack Weldon's got Ace sweatshirts, Ace sweatpants, and a warm knit collection. They're perfect for your holiday routine and gifts. As somewhat of a stickler, and I'm not just reading this, when it comes to comfortable sweatpants and sweatshirts, I was initially skeptical when I heard the hype around Mack Weldon's Ace collection. But man, oh man, was I proven wrong. Pairing super soft, high-performance fabric with unmatched style, these have become the pieces I live in, whether I'm hanging at home or running errands around town. And God knows I run errands around town. This former sweat skeptic is a new outlook. Don't sweat it, just trust Mack Weldon. I'm not going to lie, I'm not a fan of the cold. I don't know who is. Feeling like a walking popsicle just doesn't suit me. But with Mack Weldon's warm knit collection that features shirts, vests, pajama pants, and more, my chilly winter days are behind me. Using innovative technology that uses your own body heat to keep you at the perfect temperature, these products from Mack Weldon have me saying something I never thought I would. I'm ready for the cold. A gift set, what a concept. One gift that holds many gifts inside, and no one is doing better gift sets this holiday season than Mack Weldon. With limited edition color drops and a bevy of new releases, their holiday gift sets are the perfect present for any guy on your list. This holiday season, every guy deserves to wear unforgettable clothes that he loves for the moments with loved ones that he'll never forget. That's why Mack Weldon is always on my holiday list for giving and getting. For 20% off your first order, visit MackWeldon.com/Bob and enter promo code Bob. That's MackWeldon.com/Bob, promo code Bob for 20% off. Mack Weldon, get it right this holiday season.
And here's another word from one of our sponsors.
You ever pull into the driveway after a trip to the grocery store only to realize you forgot that one key ingredient for dinner? I do it all the time. I need peanut butter, always. Well, now you have options. You get the groceries you need or a backup meal from your favorite local restaurant delivered with DoorDash. And you get 25% off and zero delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code SAGET. The best part of ordering in, no pants are necessary. Unless you go to pick it up, you want pants on outside. You can get what you want to eat right now and right to your door with DoorDash. Along with the restaurants you love, you can now get groceries and other essential items delivered with DoorDash. You get drinks, snacks, and other household items in under an hour. Are you craving late night ice cream? I do all night long. Forget that one key ingredient for dinner? I told you, peanut butter. Or maybe you just need to stock up for the week. With DoorDash, get everything in one app. It's great. I use it. With over 300,000 partners, you can support your neighborhood go-tos or choose from your favorite national restaurants like Popeyes, Chipotle, and Cheesecake Factory. Ordering is easy, and your items will be left safely outside your door when you choose contactless delivery drop-off. For a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the code SAGET. That's 25% off up to $10 in value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app at the App Store and enter the code SAGET. Don't forget that's code SAGET, S-A-G-E-T, for 25% off of your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change, terms apply. Thanks so much and enjoy DoorDash.
Okay, we're back. That was the break. That's how we
That
do
was
it.
great.
That's the podcast world.
Oh, look at us go.
Let's do this. So I know you got a million things to do, but I want to tell you a couple other wonderful things. I loved you so much in Designated Survivor.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
I
missed shooting that.
That was a special show. I think the show should have been given a longer life, is what I feel.
What is with Netflix and taking away the last season of Designated Survivor and Fuller House? I mean,
but they gave that Manifest a life again after it got canceled. Did you watch that show? Did you look at that? That's the plane.
I don't.
It's an airplane that disappears for 5 years, but nobody gets older.
Ooh, my mom says that she watches it. So.
Yeah, I met the producer. It turns out we know each other, and we went to dinner. And I think you'd like it. It's sci-fi. It's cool.
Maybe I would. I'll have to check it out. It's on Netflix.
It is now. They're just starting to make it right now. They're spending 20 new episodes, but they picked it up after NBC canceled it. But what's cool about it is the premise is we are all connected. That's the premise. So it's a little bit of that, kind of a good theory behind it. Okay, so what's your favorite? I know that I read that one of the hardest things you ever did was Tonya Harding, playing her as a child. That was one of your most challenging roles.
I mean, that was pretty challenging with having to learn how to skate like an Olympic skater in 5 days. But yeah, I'd never set foot on ice before. They're like, okay, you have 5 days. Here you go. Just kind of push me out there. I learned how to skate. But yeah, I mean, that one was pretty challenging. But then again, I think that Phoebe was also kind of hard to create and make with Mr. Jason. But I'm really happy with how she turned out. But right now I'm working on a project, and I think that this is definitely the most difficult role that I've played yet. I'm playing a real person in the new film that Olivia Wilde's directing, and we have Thomas and Mackenzie playing Carrie Strug, and I'm playing another character, which I cannot say, but it's about the 96 Olympic gymnasts, and I'm having to go through like a full body transformation, and I've never done anything like that before. I've started with a trainer. I've been working out like 5 or 6 days a week, and we don't even shoot for like 6 months. It's crazy. Gonna be all in shape for summer.
You're gonna have a completely different physical makeup.
Yeah, I'm gonna look completely different, like look and way of speaking. It's weird to play someone who actually was, because you want to make sure that it's respectful, but at the same time gets the story across in a way that you want.
And your diet's gonna change again, probably.
Oh, it already has, which is kind of crazy, considering that we're 6 months out from shooting. I mean, I eat a lot of salads now. I am expanding my palate. You know, that's kind of another reason why it is important for me to integrate a little more protein into my diet, because I want to make sure that I do that in a healthy way, so that it's not like, oh, this young child actress, you know, like she's starving herself. No, it's like, it's really a like protein based, like everybody wants to make sure that we're strong and not like dying.
I have to ask you, Mckenna, you chose to do all this at a really young age, right? That's how this all happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just,
Absolutely.
because some people's parents push them along, but your parents are not like that. It's
Yeah.
it's you. It's that old soul type thing. I'm sure you've heard too many times, but you are just who you are. You're just a
Yeah.
special, wonderful, talented, great person.
Thank you. No, that means a lot. I mean, it's kind of a thing. Like I talk about this all the time now, but it's so funny to me to go and like read comments that are put under my posts that are like, oh my God, somebody gave this girl a childhood. She does nothing but work. She must be so miserable. Why do her parents make her do this? And it's also so negative, but it's like I really love what I do. This is what I've wanted to do from such a young age, and now I'm still at a very young age. So it's cool to have been doing this for like 10 years, and at 15 that's a really long time. So it's weird, but it's definitely what I love doing. I'm really passionate about it, and I hope that that comes across in my performance. I always try to make sure that everybody can see how much I really enjoy what I do. But it is really great. I mean, whenever I went to my first acting class, whenever I was super little, I went and they were like, "Wow, she actually does really enjoy doing this." And my mom was like, "Yeah, I told you guys." And then they're like, a lot of people say that their kids like doing this, a lot of people say that,
Right.
but she really does. So it's cool because I really do. And I'm lucky to have parents who support me in this. They're always like, yeah, they always ask me, they're like, are you happy? Like, are you unhappy doing this? Because we don't have to. I'm like, excuse me, this is what I want to stay doing.
I love them, and I got to hug your mom the other night, and she's such a socially careful. But we kind of had masks. We did kind of, but we were all certified. I have my scuba license,
Yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
but the fact that they approach it that way is so healthy because other people are going, this will be my meal ticket. I've watched, I've been around child actors my whole life, and you're not I hate saying child actor, a young person who acts.
Yeah.
And you also are this amazing singer songwriter. I mean, you got to do the theme at the end of the Ghostbusters movie.
I that was really special. Yeah, that was really weird to wrap my head around, that I wrote a song and then it ended up in the end credits of Ghostbusters somehow. It's the weirdest thing, and I feel so lucky. Especially because it's great because there's like secret hidden scenes in the credits, and it's great because everybody has to sit through my song to watch one of them. So let's go. It's great. But I mean, that is really cool that they sit through my song if they want to watch the scene, because people that probably would have never heard it or listened to it got to, which I think is really cool. Like at the premiere, I'm sitting there and I'm looking around, and like Mr. Paul Rudd and Miss Carrie Coon and like all the original Ghostbusters are sticking around for the last scene, and they're like sitting there listening to my song, vibing to it, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. But it feels really special. I'm stoked for it to come out. Because I don't know when this interview is being released,
This
but
is
like right now,
Monday. It's Monday,
on
just a couple
Monday.
days from now. Yeah.
Well, that means that my song is already out, but recording this right now, it isn't yet, and I'm still so nervous about it.
Oh, it's going to be loved. It's wonderful. It just sounds. It's a beautiful song. You have a wonderful voice. I mean, you have a lot of talent. So that's the next question. I know you're going to get asked, and I'm still very observant of your schedule because you're probably talking to, I don't know who next, Oprah. You probably got something very important lined up.
Oh gosh, if only.
Okay, so directing, everybody must be asking you, is that a goal? Because you think of a lot of incredibly talented people like Jodie Foster or certain people that have started as actors as young people and then became magnificent. Ron Howard. I mean, what do you, is that on your docket, or do you
I
not
mean,
know yet?
absolutely. That's kind of my plan, is like whenever I get asked, like, where do you see yourself in however many years? It's always like, I really want to move into more creative aspects of what I do, like producing and writing and directing. And I mean, by the time this will come out, which I'm really excited, is my first music video will be out as well. That I wrote that music video, I wrote the song, and I co-directed the music video as well, which was really special for me because going into music, I've been writing things and listening to the songs. I've had like creative control over every aspect of it, which I've never had before with acting, because I feel like you have like character and a script that you can kind of hide behind, but music is just so deeply personal that it's kind of scary. But I mean, listening to my songs, I know that I have like almost like a lot of control over the creative process that it goes through. And so listening to it, I have like a vision of exactly what I want it to look like. So it's so cool that I got to translate that onto screen, and I got to make something that I wrote and I co-directed it, and it's so weird. And I'm so excited for you to see it.
I can't wait. See, do you want to tour live? Do you ever have desire to do that one day?
Last night I went to a Phineas concert. I don't know if you've heard him, but I think that he is just brilliant and genius in the way that he performs, and his lighting was so cool. I loved it, and his songs were brilliant. And I thought it was just, I was sitting there and I was like, wow, I cannot ever imagine doing that. Like, that's insane, especially how beautiful he made his set design look and everything. It was so cool. So I was sitting there and I was like, you know, if I ever performed live, I would want it to be this cinematic experience like this is. I think that it's so brilliant whenever you just sit there, and not only are you captivated by like the song, but watching the artist perform is just so cool, especially whenever it's someone who's genius enough to really keep you like focused on their performance. I think that it's really cool thing to experience. So if I ever got the chance, I would love to play something live. I think I'd be so nervous because I feel like I it's the weirdest thing. I'm an actor and I have like really bad stage fright, but I would absolutely like love to play something live. That'd be crazy.
I never saw you exhibiting any kind of stage fright. I saw you completely composed. Is that you just have that, you're able to just calm it down on the exterior?
On the exterior, no. I mean, even at the screening that I was at that you came to, I was so nervous going up there and giving a speech in front of everyone. I felt like I kept on stumbling over my words or
Dang, you were
looking
perfect.
nervous. Thank you. I always get quite nervous going and giving speeches in front of people and going in front of large crowds or even a smaller crowd like what was inside that theater. It's so scary. I went to Comic-Con and I was so nervous to go up there, but I got up there on stage and there was like 3,000 people and I started crying the entire panel. I was sitting there crying, and it was funny, and yeah, but I still love it. I think that it's really cool once you get up there.
And you had a remarkable experience. Is it twice with Chris Evans you've worked?
I think just once.
Is
I
it
love
just
work
once?
with him.
Oh, I read it twice. That's what it is.
Nice. Yeah.
And so Marvel Universe, is that something that's on your docket? Is that?
I think that it'd be crazy to do a Marvel thing. I think that Marvel's kind of expanding so much right now into their multiverse with like all the shows and things that they're doing. But I mean, I think that that's definitely up there. I feel like for me, it's like a dream to either be like a Disney princess or a Marvel character. I feel like that's like the top tier, like action, big movie thing, you know? I think that it's really cool.
I know that you follow your instincts. That's what makes you so special. I know that you're in the moment with everything you do, because you are naturally. Some people work really hard to get that, but that's your natural being. That's why when you would come over and sit next to me on the iconic Full House couch and say hi and talk to me, it was just very present. I felt like I already knew you. It was just very comfortable. You put people at ease with how centered you are. And I think that's the truth. And that's what's drawing people to you in all of these realms. And you have such a good heart. So, I mean, I see you doing whatever you want. My only other question really is just in thinking of in a fatherly way. I have one Paul Rudd question too, but that's a silly one.
Yeah.
But I have to go there. But just in the grand scheme of things, you're looking at this movie that's coming up with Olivia Wilde, and that's going to be this very intense thing, it sounds like. And then you're more Handmaids, and then Ghostbusters is a comedy, but I mean, from your perspective, you didn't really approach it it wasn't a comedic exercise. It was real, right?
Yeah, I mean, it
It's
was
more
kind of
dramatic.
seeing how much people laugh in the theater is really funny to me because of the fact that I mean, that was definitely like my first time doing something that, I mean, Fuller House was definitely an experience for me with the way that it was so comedic and different from things that I usually do. So moving into that genre is very odd for me. But I had so much fun with Phoebe's very dry delivery because that's how I told jokes for a while to stop myself from laughing at my own jokes. I would say them as dry as I could. So that instead of like laughing before I told a joke, I'd tell it very deadpan and go, "What do you call a dead polar bear?" Anything you want. It can't hear you now, and so playing that kind of comedy was very fun.
I loved it, and I've unfortunately told those jokes in a dad joke kind of way to not success. But
Oh.
you have the secret, which is the Willy Wonka Gene Wilder approach, which is when he says, "No, don't stop." It's that he tells a kid,
Yeah.
right? It's just dry.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's really fun. I don't know. I feel like comedy's so scary to approach for me, so I'm glad that the jokes landed. And it was especially fun because I went to set and I told a different joke every day. Those all those little jokes were mine. I'd come in and I'd have like a joke book and I'd present all my jokes to Jason and they'd be like, "Well, here's the jokes that I kind of thought would be nice to tell today. Do what you will." So it's funny because all the jokes that are in the film that Phoebe tells are just like Jason's favorite of that take.
Right. So I guess my question, to put it in better words, because I don't know, I'm more of a conversationalist than an interviewer person, and I know you. So will you, when you go through a difficult, hard, dark place in an acting role, will you then, and your family and your representation, look for something that's a little lighter, or will you look for something that's lighter to help balance it, so you don't stay in some, because some actors or actresses just stay in a dark mode because that's what they do best.
Like as in a way, like look for a lighter project to do?
Yeah, I mean, do you ever think about that? I mean, eventually you're going to end up in, teen. They're gonna want you for all the romantic comedies, and they probably do now.
No, man, I've been waiting. Now that I'm getting older, I feel like it's like a rite of passage. Like all of like my favorite actors have done a rom-com at some point in their career, so I'm patiently waiting. That's so funny that you said that because I talk about that all the time. I'm like, man, I would love to do a rom-com or a romance or something. I think that that's like that and a musical are like the two things that I would love to do in my career because I feel like I've done nothing even remotely similar to either of those. Um, but I mean, I've never really thought about it that way to look for something lighter to do because of the darkness that I've experienced in another role. I just feel like it's mostly depending on the set vibe, on how I feel afterwards. Like I've done films that were meant to be a very light, like funny film, but it ended up being like miserable because of the way that the people treated each other or because of the like vibe from the actors or the first AD or the vibe that one of the producers gave off it kind of just like sets a tone for
Yeah.
the overall theme of how you're going to shoot and that's just miserable even if you're doing a light film but
Hmm.
doing handmaids like I could do that every day because of the fact that the set was so light and airy because I feel like shooting something like that you really have to be careful and make sure that the set's very light and happy and funny because you can just like totally get stuck in the darkness of it.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but I mean, at the end of the day, it's really nice to just go home and kind of leave it on set and just decompress. I play a lot of video games with my friends, so
And are they happy video games, or are they some of the ones where people are out there shooting?
oh goodness no, goodness no. I like to play Minecraft and like plant flowers.
Oh,
It's quite nice. Animal Crossing, like that's my jam. I like to play more of the light games.
when my daughters were younger, I lived in Zelda. I just lived there. I just
I haven't played that one yet, but my friends love it, so
It's retro, but they still make new ones. Well, I know you got a lot to do. I have to ask you one question just because I think he's one of the sweetest people alive, and we all agree Paul Rudd is adorbs. So the question is, it's a horrible question to ask you. That cover of People, the title that they gave him,
yep.
I'm
Sexiest
sure.
Man Alive.
Did you see that coming?
I didn't even I I mean, I didn't see it coming personally, and neither did Paul, because he said that. But it was the first thing that I said to him after like seeing him. I hadn't seen him for 2 years since we shot, and I went, I mean, so much has happened. My hair is long and it's blonde now. I mean, you were named sexiest man alive. What happened? It's great because something that Mr. Bill Murray said, and then me and Mr. Paul did with him in the original Ghostbusters was he was like, because Paul was talking about, he was like, the first thing that I thought whenever I got named Sexiest Man Alive was there's going to be a lot of outrage about this. There hasn't been, but I don't know why he thought that. He was like, I don't think that I am the sexiest man alive. And Mr. Bill, he went, I don't think he's the sexiest man alive either, but I love that he's going to be getting asked these questions for the rest of his life, which is so great because he's never going to live that down. Everybody's going to be like, 10 years from now, they're going to be like, so back in 2021, you were named sexiest man alive. How did that feel? What was going on that year? And I think that that's great. So it's very funny. It'll be great to laugh at, later if we do anything else again.
His kids will definitely throw that up at him.
Yeah, for sure.
Or make a giant mock-up of it for his 60th birthday party.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
It should have been just cutest or most likable, but because he is.
No, but for some reason, it's sexiest. But I agree. He's such a nice, funny, kind person. He is just great.
Well, it takes one to know one. And Mckenna, I'm so happy to talk to you, and I'm so happy for you. And I'm so excited to watch all of the growth that you go through and all the different stuff that you're working on. You're so talented, and it's a real gift that you get to share it with everybody. So thanks for talking to me, but also just I don't know, thank your parents, thank the muses, thank God, whatever you believe in, for making you this wonderful person that doesn't take for granted any of this. It's just so refreshing.
It's so nice to talk with you, considering that I'm such a big fan. So it's weird to sit here and hear you say those things to me. It's so kind, and it means a lot. It's words that I'll remember forever. It really means the world to me. You're so kind whenever you chat with me, and it I don't know, it's weird. It makes my heart so happy. It genuinely means the world to me. Thank you so much.
You got me all mushy. I'm all teary-eyed. I actually.
Oh,
I
I'm gonna
can't.
be on
I've never turned it. I haven't turned into Danny Tanner on a podcast ever.
I feel honored.
Well, you did it. You're just so great, and just be safe and be safe. I'm like a dad. What am I doing? Tell your grandfather. Tell your grandfather with the stick I send my love, and
I will.
give your parents my love. Safe travels. Congratulations on Ghostbusters Afterlife. Everybody's gonna see it. Now you got me all emotional. So next time we see each other, it'll be for something really happy. Maybe there'll be some get together, and we'll all.
Absolutely.
It'll be great. Thank you so much, and lots of love.
Man, thank you so much. You're the best. I think that I'll see you at Mr. Jeff's house. I think he's doing something soon, and I will see you there, and it'll be so lovely.
I will see you there. So we'll pick up where we left off. Crying.
Yay! Crying. Sounds great. I'll show up already, just teary.
I'm gonna put some drops in case glycerin in case I can't get it going.
Yeah. The tear stick. Get a little mintiness.
Just hold an onion.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Have a great continued fun run of press for this fun movie, and
thank you so much.
And I'll see you soon.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh darn, my heart's mush. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, you're the bestest. Have a good day.
You are. Thanks, Mckenna. Well, I didn't expect that. I'm a mush fest. That's Mckenna Grace. I always I guess I don't know. She's just one of the special people that has chosen acting, or acting chose her, and art. She's an artist, and I don't have to tell you, and she's just real, and she's lovely, and man, she's gonna do so many amazing. She's doing great things now. People always go, "Wait till you see what she does." Most people in their lives in this business. It's not a business the way she approaches it. Although she did say, I booked that. Well, I've never said that. I booked that gig. It's not because I didn't book a gig. I never booked a gig. It's because it is a business, but she's such a pure artist and such a big heart. So you'll enjoy her. She's truly a hero. It's literally funny that she was watching the Alien movies and Sigourney Weaver, and here she is in Ghostbusters Afterlife, kind of, I don't want to say saving the day, but you get a feeling when you see her on the screen. I mean, she's the lead of the movie, and she is just wonderful, and I adore her. And there's a lot to look forward to from this wonderful person, this artist, the Olivia Wilde thing that'll be coming up that she's getting in training for. I mean, maybe I need a part like that where I build to be a gymnast. That's a good idea. You can, at 65, you can hear your neck crack and then it don't come back. I just want to thank her. Thanks to Mckenna Grace for being on this podcast. She is special, isn't she, guys? I know that it's a different audience maybe that listened to this one because she really hits all boundaries of demographics. I mean, I can't wait to see what happens with her character in *Handmaid's Tale*, and I just hope she gets some comeuppance and gets to defend a young woman's right to have freedom and all that positive stuff. I feel so positive after having just spoken with her. What a gift. So everybody, I don't know, all things Mckenna Grace, that's how I look at it. Music video, it's out right now as this thing is getting released because we recorded this a couple days ago. So all I got to tell you is the normal thing, which is the podcast business, which is that this is a business because everybody has a podcast. You rate, review, you subscribe, you follow it on the YouTube page. That is youtube.com/Bob Saget. I hate saying slash. It just sounds like a horror film, which, again, Mckenna Grace is so good at. And what else do I have to tell you? Well, you want to listen, and to do that, you got to follow or you subscribe. Subscribe. And comments are looked at. They are by me. And I'm going to be calling you guys. It's holiday time, so get ready. I'm going to post it on my Twitter and on my Instagram stories, and I'm going to be calling some of you right around this, in between this Thanksgiving, Christmas time, and have a Thursday show, not just a Monday show. Because I used to do that when I started this before the pandemic hit us all. I was calling people, and that's how the title Bob Saget's Here For You came up. I was originally going to call it Rue McClanahan's Here For You because I loved her on Golden Girls, but they said it wouldn't sell. I did love her, by the way. Anyway, a lot of love to Rue McClanahan. A lot of love to all of you. A lot of health. A lot of good health for you guys. Okay? And I'm on the road. I am on tour. So just go to bobsaget.com, and it has, I added the .com part to my name, and there's no space between Bob and Saget. Just trying to explain to you how it works, and you can see me out on tour. I'll be going everywhere. In 2022, I'll be going literally as many places as humanly possible, and maybe I'll even stop by, Grapevine, Texas, because that's where Mckenna Grace is from. Thank you so much for listening or watching, and I will talk to you soon on this thing. This thing is, Bob Saget's Here For You. I had to look over to get the name.